Hi guys, Scott Woodward with you to talk about the Newcastle Knights 2014, and I was just tremendously impressed with the Knights last year to play semi-final football given the massive injury toll that they had and losing their skipper Kurt Gidley for most of the season as they did the previous year. To get the players all together and such an ageing list and to play the quality of the football that they did, and actually go down to Melbourne and defeat Melbourne in the semi-final was an incredible effort, and all credit to them. And look, we come to expect this type of thing from Wayne Bennett and Wayne Bennett coach sides. This is his last year coaching Newcastle Knights. We would think his contract is up, and you'd like to think that the players will be absolutely busting their gut for him. But look, I have to say, I had a lot of difficulty in finding a young gun for Newcastle. I look at the young blood that comes in, and I really struggle to say, who's the young gun for Newcastle. In all honesty, there isn't one. I couldn't find one. So they're going to rely very heavily on their top 13, very heavily on their top 17. If anything happens there, they're going to be in awful trouble. I think the recruiting has been very poor. And they just don't have any depth, particularly in the forwards. They do lack big props. So there's going to be a massive dependence on Willie Mason, who's not getting any younger, but he certainly returned back to his youth a little bit under Wayne Bennett. And also they're going to rely heavily on Kade Snowden. Now, look, at least Kade gives them size and he gives them a little bit of go forward, but he's certainly no world beater. But they need Willie and they need Kade to turn up just about every week, and they need them to play long minutes. The rest of the forward pack, it's an ageing forward pack, but they get the job done and they play Wayne Bennett type football. Jeremy Smith, Beau Scott, Robbie Rochow played every game last year, and he was the only young forward that, if you like, was discovered for Newcastle last year. And so we'd expect that Rochow, Scott and Smith, they'll be the back three again. Look, the big in, if you like, for the season, the big find, is their skipper, Kurt Gidley. He has to be considered as a new in. And because that Wayne Bennett absolutely found a leg with Jarrod Mullen and Tyrone Roberts last year, they just absolutely thrived under Bennett. And as the season went on and as they got used to his coaching methods, they just got better and better and better. And I have to say, coming into the season, I had Tyrone Roberts down as a borderline first grader, but he's a genuine first grader now under Bennett. He is turning him into a classed halfback. And I thought Jarrod Mullen was unlucky not to be the Dally M Player of the Year last year. He had a consistent season all year, and he was able to dominate. He was just very, very dangerous with the ball, and his tactical kicking was outstanding. A terrific year for the 6 and 7. With the Newcastle Knights, and their best player of the year, Darius Boyd at fullback. That gives them an outstanding spine when Kurt Gidley is going to play 9. And so that's a big, big thing for Newcastle. That's what I'm saying. If they can maintain this spine for the year and they can maintain their top 13, they're going to be very difficult to beat in any game that they play. The problem is going to be injuries, of course, and when they get injuries, they just don't have the quality to replace them. I want to talk about, well, I've talked about Mullen and Roberts, how Bennett was able to raise them to a new level. The Knights finished 7th last year. I think because of the lack of depth in the side, I think they're probably going to struggle to do that again. Look, having said that, I think Kurt Gidley is a genuine 9. He played a lot of 1, and he's played a lot of 6 and 7 for Newcastle. And I'm sure if you asked him, he'd rather play in those positions. But I think the way that he plays, and he's such a fit guy, 9 is clearly his best position. And if he does very well in this position, you'll probably find that he'll be a bench player for New South Wales in the State of Origin. But, you know, time will tell. We look at the Newcastle Knights back line, and it's as good as back line as what it gets. The two wingers, Uate and McManus, both State of Origin class wingers, and the two centres, BJ, Leilua and Dane Gagai, outstanding two centres. So the back line, and you throw in Darius Boyd there at fullback, Jarrod Mullen and Tyrone Roberts, that's the back 7. It's an outstanding 7, and that's the big strength of this side. They've got speed to burn, and all those guys, when they've got the ball in their hand, are very dangerous. The forward pack is a tough, take no prisoners top forward pack, and that's how Wayne Bennett likes to play. We talked about the depth. Look, they've brought in Michael Dobson from overseas, and he's a quality organiser and a very good tactical kicker and a good goal kicker. But look, there's going to have to be an injury to Tyrone Roberts for him to go to Guernsey, and Kurt Gidley will play long minutes, so I can't see him coming on and replacing him at 9 either. If there is going to be one young promising kid, it's Adam Clydesdale. He's a very promising young hooker, but I think once again there's going to have to be injuries to Gidley for him to get a Guernsey. I can't see him getting a run at all. We look at the bench, and there's not a lot there that you go, oh wow, he's going to come off the bench. You know, guys like Alex McKinnon, Chris Houston, Tetavano, Falongo, Adam Cuthbertson, Matt Hilder, Clinton Newton is back to Newcastle, Corbin Sims. These are all, if you like, okay, guys, plotters. You know, maybe that's a little bit harsh on a couple of them, but it's not a bench that's going to make a big impact. And that's really what you want when a guy comes in off the bench. So a lot's going to rely on this top 13. Look, we have to expect that there will be some injuries, and then I think they'll struggle. If they can maintain their best 13 for most of the season, I'll be very surprised if they don't play in the semis. But given that I'm sure they'll get injuries and they'll be struck very heavily from the state of origin, I can't see them making the semi-finals. So I think they'll just miss out. I think they're borderline chances for the semi-finals. But it's coached by Wayne Bennett, and he's as good as coach as what it gets. I haven't seen a better coach than him, and this is his final year, and he will want to go out on a very, very high. So Newcastle Knights won't surprise me if they play semi-final again. I don't think they will. I'm prepared to say I think they'll finish 11th or 12th. But if you follow them, good luck. Hope you have a good season. Cheers.